Hello. What's going on in legendary stunts? Huh. Two people. What could it mean? What could it mean? It must mean something. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out.
It's like doing the right app.
Oh, there's a DM.
Also, I can't hear anyone for some reason. Hold on.
Why can't I can never find the sound instructions in.
Oh, what the actual fuck?
Extremely good question.
Can someone try talking now?
Hello?
Nope.
Okay, I think that fixes one of my issues. Save setting. Okay, maybe I hear people over my headset now? Oh, that's so much better. Thank you.
Oh, I think I just heard that.
Oh, we heard you.
Thankfully.
Yay! Welcome to the place of speaking.
I was like, it's getting real late and no one's in chat, not realizing I was sitting in the wrong fucking chat.
We were over here being like, what's going on in legendary since how do we what should we join them? Should we not join them? It's a mystery. I guess John was correct that it was not in fact a mystery, but only a misclick. I really wanted it to be a mystery. Yeah. I acknowledge the logic and also objective correctness while still mourning the mystery. Guess I should get a dice out. Heather, I just
was it a natural 20?
It was, and it was not Grimm's dice. It Sure. We opened with Cure having told the rest of us not to try to track down Jazan, using locate object to track down Jazan. He was at a window up high, taking in the scents and the sounds, and he was mostly non-responsive for a bit. Turns out he was very bummed because he has never killed an innocent person on purpose before. Like, not that he wanted to kill an innocent person, but he understood the consequence and he did it anyway. So he had concerns about his judgment and his decision making and feelings about that. Cure had noted that her own decision making has at times been questionable. Her intentions are good, but that's not only like it was an intentions versus impact conversation, with some existential discussion about whether or not one can return a soul to a body. Cure tried to make them feel better, didn't really look like he was buying it. There was lots of talk about how everyone makes mistakes and it's important to learn from them. And somehow from this heavy conversation, we got transitioned to a Jocelyn suggesting a game of hide and seek. I believe it began as telling Cure to tell the party that he was missing and couldn't be found, which initially sounded very dramatic, and then it became clear that it did sound dramatic, but also he mostly just thought it would be funny. Or maybe not mostly. I don't know what Jocelyn thought. But anyway, they arranged for Jocelyn to have a 15 minutes head start before Cure sent the rogues after him. Meanwhile, elsewhere in the Count Costume's house, we had just been handed a dagger that and spent some time trying to extract information about this dagger. Its name is Whisper. It's special. It's a vestige. We were supposed to be impressed by that. We were less impressed, I think, than everyone might have hoped, although we have agreed to keep the dagger since it is very pretty and does sound very cool. So we'll get to know it and then we'll decide whether or not we're going to keep it longer. We asked the Count slash Ice, but Macklin was very clear that we're not supposed to call him that. We're just supposed to call him the Count. Why Cure doesn't like him. He told us his version of why Cure doesn't like him, or maybe one of his versions. We get the sense that he might have lots of different stories, but he definitely told us some stuff about why Cure may or may not like him. Not may or may not. It's definitely may not, but it may not be the actual reasons. Hopefully that made more sense outside of my head than it did as it came out of my mouth. We did return the Amulet of the Plains to V, and yeah, at some point in there, Macklin, we let slip that our luck blade is also a vestige, and Macklin asked where we got it, and we told him, and we're very proud of ourselves. And then Macklin explained how the condemner works a little bit. And yeah, and then we put the Count through his paces because it sounded like Cure successfully punched him in the past, and we wanted to know what he could do if he wasn't fast enough to avoid a punch. Turns out he could do some really cool magical stuff and like face shifting stuff. So like he's got some chops, just not punch avoidance chops apparently. Meanwhile, Cure was in the library studying with Grace. I think it was Grace. I could be wrong about the name. Who was studying up on Dunamancy. There was a transfer of some things that belonged to Talia, some talk about Talia. Cure promised not to murder Grace, so that's nice. Jazan hid, then prayed. And the rogues having been, I think the rogues were independently starting to talk about trying to find Jazan, and then Cure came by and shared the fact of the hide and seek game. So we turned it into a race, and we're each true to our type. We went really, really fast without much direction, but very, very fast. Macklin spent time staring out windows. I believe the description was the when my husband returned from the war look. And eventually started talking like basically tried to win the hide and seek game through smarts. And V, as I recall, tried to look like he was looking while actually trying to get far enough away from the rest of us that he could find a quiet place to read. Eventually Macklin spoke with Edgar, who ratted out Jazan's location. So Macklin won the hide and seek race and had a conversation with Jazan on the roof about how many times Jazan has had to abandon his home, and that he is tired of death, and specifically tired of horrible, violent death, which, like, fair. We hung out with V for a while on the roof first, trying to extract his feelings about whether he is lonely or not. And then those of us who only need 4 hours of sleep went in, or brooding or trancing. Nobody needs any sleep, but 4 hours of something for a long rest. Went inside, found ourselves a cozy book and a cozy place to review the tattoo spell book and assign tattoos to various party members and not party members. And I believe he was using disguise self or some disguise disguise magical illusion thingamabob. We don't know. It's magic to like show examples of what the tattoos might look like. So we've had a lovely night. Cure, I think, had not wandered off, had been taken or shown to the sauna at some point. And as the game closed, still has that earring and heard Talia over said earring saying to prepare to back for the folks back at Whitestone, question mark? Prepare to bring for the unwounded. That's all we got. Also, I had some dentum fillings done this afternoon, so if my voice sounds at all weird, it's because a third of my face is still numb.
Oh no.
Hoping it'll wear off soon, but in the meantime.
Hopefully. That sounds like that was very robust. I think covered all the paces. I think it is important to note two things, maybe one thing that is two things. Tab was very, what's that word? Insistent, or needed to make sure that this dagger was not a form of leverage, so that
yes.
someone could make proactive decisions for them. One,
yes.
And two, definitely, absolutely threatened to run the count through if that was the case.
Oh, that did happen. Yeah.
That did
Thank
happen.
You.
That was the standout moment for last game, I think.
That's right. We do have a new. It was a conditional. It's not a Bastrok situation. We're clearly communicating.
Yes.
We drew a boundary.
I just like Tab's 0 fucks of station.
I kind of feel a little guilty because I'm not sure how much of Cure's attitude towards ice influenced that conversation.
I'm not sure either, so.
I think that's all just puzzle box Tab right there.
Yeah, I guess Cure doesn't know. Nobody knows. But I think Cure's attitude spurred the initial conversation, and everything else was a combination. Was all Tab. So I think Cure bears no responsibility other than getting Tab to ask some questions instead of just standing and playing with the yo-yo and being bored. So I consider it a net. Individual mileage may vary.
All right. So, picking up where we... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, was that Grace that Cure was talking with in the library? Did I get that name right?
Yes.
And Grace is or was Talia's fiance?
Appears by all... It appears was.
Okay.
Definitely.
At least was. Current status.
Definitely was.
Okay. Thank you. Trying to learn my NPCs.
Okay. So, sure, what are you up to?
Well, after receiving that message, or eavesdropping on that message, I'm already aware that Whitestone is retreating and transferring people here. And it's late at night. I feel like they have this in hand, so I don't feel compelled to raise an alarm. feel like that would just be counterintuitive to an operation that's underway by several competent individuals. So I'm just going to kind of relax. I think I had mentioned that I was cleaning up and then heading to bed with Alina napping and waiting for me. So yeah, just clean up, go to bed, listen over the earring in case anything alarming comes through.
Yeah, so it's almost the opposite of alarming, as you get periodic updates of. It's like listening to a pre-flight checklist when you're on the plane. Like that's more or less. It's very memorized, calculated, rote, like moving through steps that have been pre-planned and probably done before. By the sound of it.
Yeah, so I keep just an ear out, and if anything notable, such as like anything regarding Ilya or the family or anything particularly worrisome comes through, then I'll pay closer attention. But for the most part, I'm focused on enjoying the momentary reprieve that I have. I'm a soldier in a war. I got to sleep whenever I find the opportunity.
Mm-hmm. It seems very well under control. There is a moment of debate on who is coming to run the hospital on the plains end, but it appears to be that Hunan is taking over, is going to run that base, while Uriel continues at the front lines.
Interesting.
That appears to be all that you really pick up. You do hear confirmation from Talia that she's staying in Whitestone.
She's staying in Whitestone?
She's currently staying in Whitestone.
You keep clipping in and out.
Damn it, my computer restarted because there was a power outage. So yes, you get confirmation from Talia. Just kind of flatly announces that she'll be staying in Whitestone.
Oh, Talia is staying in Whitestone.
Yes.
And by all intents and purposes, it sounds like the city has fallen or is in the process of falling, isn't it?
Roll an insight check. I'll give you advantage because you've been through a siege war.
Yes, I have. All right, insight. 20.
Yeah, 20. It doesn't sound very much different, other than the talk of the use of various magical abilities. It doesn't sound like that much different than a day in the wall at Vasselheim.
Okay. So the city is still holding, if barely.
It appears to be still holding / settling in for a more aggressive siege.
Okay. Not as worrisome then. I'm okay with this. I remain quiet.
I will be right back. I need to get something from over there really quick, but feel free to RP amongst yourselves.
I may be in a sauna. Some things don't need to be roleplayed.
And if we give you this tech V, then you will be faster when combat starts, so you will not be caught flat-footed. And if we give you this one, then you can, if you see ghosts or shadows or will-o'-the-wisps or other similar things, you could take and try to take control of them. That might be very good for you. You could have control of ghosts. You would have to find some ghosts, but then you would have control of them. And if we did this one, you would be able to summon very small snakes made of ink, and they would perhaps do your bidding or perhaps just be decorative. What do you think?
I'm kind of torn between this reaction and the ghosts. Well, snakes
It's very
are cool.
understandable.
They may just be decorative. It's like I'd have to find the right snakes, you know?
It might not be a good one for work. We could do both. They might take a long time. Let me see. We page frantically back through the book. The ghosts take longer, but it certainly sounds more interesting. But maybe we don't know where we're going next, so maybe we'll find out what we're doing tomorrow.
They're
We're going to
inside as
Rex and
this
Trim.
is going on, right?
Yeah, we're in the
Yeah.
library. Not the library. We're in this up on the second floor in this parlor.
There was a lovely little reading room that Tab took me to, not the library.
Yeah, it was a nice fireplace. We could also give you one that would make you jump better, or one that could make your hand could be covered in ice, and then you could punch things and be covered in ice, and they would hurt because it was covered in ice. Or this one is very good. We could give you one that would let you speak to people without speaking to them. You could just think at them, and then they would be able to hear you think, and they would be able to think back at you. That one might be too much power, though.
What?
Maybe
Don't
the
trust
ghosts
me
are
not to
better.
talk in your head?
We don't mind. We already have lots of people talking in our head, so what's one more? You would be welcome. The Cure might not like it, Jaza might not like it, or Macklin might not like it, or the Count might. The Count would like it.
Jocelyn already cast this message. I don't know if he can object.
That's very fair. Welcome back, DM.
Thank you.
Sorry, John. Did you want to get in some snoring?
Actually, Ab and B.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right near the stairs and everything. Yeah, you do hear the occasional, like, thumping noises and the sound of people, especially heavily armed people, moving around.
Up downstairs, or like up and downstairs?
Up and down the stairs, really, because you're right next to the stairs.
I'm just trying to look at the. It looks like there's not a window out of the room. Hold on. We'll slip off the couch and set this book down next to V, and we would like to stealth out the door and just peek around the corner and see if we can see who's coming and going.
Sure. You mostly see a few people in the gold and blue and white cleric's robes of Sarenrae. Moving up and down the staircase. Accompanying an occasional, well-armored person who seems to be either limping or helping carrying stretchers, things like that. Like, they're wounded being evacuated up the stairs.
Okay. Anyone that we recognize?
Roll perception.
Natural 1.
Nope.
Total of 1.
Nada.
Okay. We'll stack into the room. And people look, and you said people on stretchers, so at least some of them are pretty badly injured. We take it.
Yeah.
We'll slip back into the room, go back to perch on the back of the couch next to V again. Do you hear that?
The feet going up and down the stairs? Yeah.
We think it might be people from the front. Some of them are quite badly hurt.
Oh, that's right. They said they were going to be getting here. I'm not sure if getting involved would be like helpful or just get us in the way.
We would only be in the way. Should we tell someone though? Or we think they already know?
I mean, if they're already on the second floor, they already know.
We nod agreeably. What DM? How late into the night? Is this like as we're settling in after the hide and seek, or is this like several hours gone?
This is probably 9 or 10 after people have started going to sleep or finding their way into the sauna and stuff like that.
Okay, so it's early enough. It's plausible that the commotion would have. Like it's not like AM we would expect everyone that Cure and company would be asleep already. Okay. I mean, one might, but we aren't going to. We will slide off the back of the couch to sit next to V again and turn the page of the tattoo book. And this one makes you seem like a pit fiend. And we look over to see if he's impressed.
That sounds like far too much fun. No, wait, that's the one we should give Macklin.
Let's study it, and we'll get our pigskin and start. If you'll help us make sense of it, and we'll practice, and then we'll start to practice on our pigskin. The mark of the paint.
Okay. Macklin, what are you up to? Speaking of.
Trying to remember which of these bedrooms I had stolen for the evening. Yeah. Trying to find Jocelyn and I can't find him.
He's hiding again.
Oh man.
Is he on the map at all?
I don't think he is.
Macklin's over here. Because Macklin didn't claim a room.
Yeah, I was going theater of the mind with that part, and there's a whole last map, so I really should have picked something. One of those barracks. There's a bunch of beds. He's in one of those beds over there. Let me move this stupid asshole.
There's saunas too.
No, I picked a bed. Sticking with it.
All right. We're gonna have to
Oh, you're not even that far away.
Oh, where's my icon? What happened to
Is
my
there a
icon?
bed in that room?
I'm
No, you're
putting
way
it
up.
in there.
Okay.
I just put you in there.
In where? Oh, okay, thank you.
So you fairly early in the night both get a tap on the shoulder from Grace.
So Macklin's hand is under his pillow, and as he's tapped, he just opens his eyes somewhat wide and slowly withdraws his hand from under the pillow. What is it?
This is where we're putting the critical wounded. You need to move to a guest room. Sorry.
He snaps a finger, points and nods. Critically wounded, got it. Wait, what? Sobering up, he scratches his head and turns toward Grace. What's happened?
There was a small battle in the city of Whitestone. It's fine. The walls are holding, but they were wounded. They needed to evacuate. And this is the room we set aside for that. One of them.
Gathering his things, I'd like to roll an insight check at her hesitation at the word battle.
Yeah, sure.
Is it as low key as she's making it out to be? That's a 31.
31. Probably not. She definitely seems to be choosing her words carefully.
All right, he gathers his things quickly. Pulls the dagger from under the pillow, slips it into his boot, dusts himself off, and well, I'm not trained in medicine, but I do know a little bit of magic. If anyone is critically wounded, I might be able to help.
Eden will be falling back with them, so they'll have clerics at least.
Nods. Very well. If you have needed anything, let us know.
I
He
can
will...
show you to some bedrooms.
That would be wonderful.
She will show you to this bedroom and this bedroom.
All right. Well, that one's got a bearskin rug, so I'll take that one. Oh, that one is small, so I will take that one. The other one, that's way too much bed for one gnome. Still taking the bed. I've slept in too many bureaus and too many drawers. I'm taking a bed this time. It's not just cozy. And yeah, I'll just God, that's some juicy info. I'm gonna stay up for a little while and just kind of keep my ears open.
Sure. Roll a perception check.
Perception? What for? That's going to be a 27.
You do hear the sound of wounded men and women moving into the house, up the stairs into the house. The sound of telepation. The occasional barked order of Cunin, which sounds odd.
Well, he's got his game face on. Even puppies can occasionally growl.
Very true.
Alright, so long as nothing is apocalyptic sounding, Macklin will eventually try to sleep.
Okay. Tab and V, the only ones who don't go to sleep.
And this one, oh, this is the initiative one again, the one that makes you faster in combat. It looks like a hummingbird. It's very pretty. This one lets you summon wolves. They're made of ink, like the spiders. Not the spiders. There are no spiders, like the snakes. Maybe we could design a spider too. Is that racist?
V blinks. Huh. I mean, I could definitely see it going if we can actually make it with the summoning and magical, but
We're also doing the Mark Pit Fiend tattoo while we're having this conversation. We could try that one next. I mean, on the pigskin, not on a person. Yeah.
thank you for clarifying.
It's going to take a very long time. I guess I should roll 16 T4 to find out how far I can get in. So it'll take 33 hours. So I guess we'll do like one Pit Fiend horn during the night. Do you think we're going to Rexentrum tomorrow?
I mean, I think that was the plan, but you know how plans go with this group.
Less fun to destroy the plan when everyone else has already destroyed it. We don't mind. We just don't know what we're doing tomorrow.
I mean,
it's
I
very
think we
strange
do
to be the
just
one
as
who
well with the
cares.
tangents. It's probably fine, right?
Do you think everyone else has forgotten where to go? Everyone who isn't excited about books and not sitting still?
I think mostly they just wanted to like sleep.
What's that like?
I have
don't
no
know?
idea.
Should we go ask them?
Not right now. They would try to shoot us or knife us or something.
Do you think if we were very sneaky, do a tattoo of Macklin slept?
I don't think stealth helps with that when you're like repeatedly stabbing someone. Like watching her stabbing the pigskin.
Yeah. How's
You have
our
to like
how's
sell him out to do that.
in that one? If you turn the page one more time, then that one seems like it takes a very long time. It's large and fancy, but that's how you get wings. Well, not you, maybe you, someone could get wings.
I mean, that would be cool.
Maybe later. We do have a month, right? Most of a month. It might be nice to have wings if we fight Ekna.
What about this one? This one looks kind of like throw ravens in people's faces.
We
Going to get Mark of Luck.
Crane our neck, look well, continue like would like start to drift off the edge of the pigskin and stab our own hand once and move back onto the pigskin and keep going. An unkindness of ink raven. That's very fancy. That might be. Do they have to be ravens? We trying to create some separation. Some
Oh,
work
no,
life
that's
separation
fair.
is what it's called. Some form of work life separation.
I mean,
or
it would be really ironic thing to give Cure. Really ironic.
we don't know if we're allowed to have work life separation when we keep hearing that we're dead. But we're not. I meant like a Charity has a raven, sort of. An Edgar.
I mean,
Could we get an unkindness of tiny Edgars?
okay, that would be really funny.
It would be very cute.
I'm not sure if Cure would like having an unkindness of tiny Edgars, but
We transition from practicing the pit fiend, the mark of the pit fiend, to practicing the mark of the flock, done as a flock of tiny Edgars instead of a flock of tiny ravens. Here's the. I'll post the link again if anyone
he
would
is
like
totally
to follow
using
along.
this guy's self to like play with this and try to figure out how to put it together.
Can you roll me an Arcana check?
19.
You think you could figure it out. It might take some doing and some trying and some practice. But you think you could figure it out.
I mean, we probably need to, if we're going to change the tattoos, it's probably going to require some form of, like, making sure we're keeping all the important elements.
It's a good thing you're here, then. You're very good at magic. Figure it out, right?
It might require some math.
We can do
I'll
math.
keep thinking about it.
We can do math. Between us, we can do math.
Yeah, as you said, it's like we can figure it out. It's just take a bit. It's kind of complicated.
Well, we have most of the night since we don't sleep, and we can think about it while we brood.
Yeah, and then we just gotta sell Cure on it.
That will be harder. But we'll start with the first thing, and then
Well,
do
we
the
always
second
do
thing
that. It's
later.
going to be the hard part.
It will take a little while to design, so we can start laying foundation tomorrow. And then when we have it ready, she'll be convinced.
It's an idea. Good plan. We'll try that first.
We nod solemnly and continue practicing the tiny Edgars on the pigskin and discussing what parts of the mark of the flock tattoo can and can't change, like which ones are critical and which ones can change to reflect summoning a different thing. So that's what we're doing.
That's what you're doing.
We can do this all
Can I
night.
get-
Don't
Can
try
I get
me.
a roll of con checks, please?
Sure.
A round of con checks for everybody.
Straight up check save.
You don't get to roll one because you don't sleep. You don't have to figure out what order you wake up in the morning.
Awesome.
That's right.
Wow.
At some point, I am going to have to transfer my 4 hours of sanity retention.
We promise not to tattoo anything on you while you're chancing.
Appreciates this promise.
Tonight, anyway. It's a one night promise. Tomorrow we'll make it. We'll have to revisit.
Pointing back at that conversation about whether you could stab someone repeatedly in their sleep without them waking up and trying to kill you.
Damn. All right. Gore, you're the first one up, and I don't know. Are you shocked by the fact that even like Alina has like the pillows pulled over her head, the blankets pulled over the pillows, and has decided to be a burrito?
No.
She is. She rolled 2 natural ones on her
Oh.
con check to wake up.
Oh, to
So
be young
she's-
again.
She is passed out, drooling, living her best burrito life.
Oh.
Well, at the very least, have some time off. I wake up, go about preparing my prayers and spells for the day. How early is it?
Probably 7 or so.
In that case, during my preparation period, I'm going to tap Talia's earring. How went the evacuation of the wounded?
You hear one long groan from it, which definitely sounds like it might have been Yuri. Before Talia's voice comes through again. It went fine. Uncle Hunan and Uriel traded places early this morning. Several of the wounded have been moved back. Well, are no longer wounded, have been moved back here. The rest are settling in at the Emerald Manor for recuperation.
I see. And your mother?
Sleeping.
Good for her. Whitestone?
Still stands. Little singed around the edges.
Thank you. I appreciate the update.
Of course.
Any developments we should be aware of?
Nothing you haven't seen before.
I nod slightly. Have you gotten any rest yet?
I took a short rest a little while ago, and I'll take another longer one once Mother wakes up.
I nod slightly.
Considering currently I am Ilya, which is strange.
I beg your pardon?
We're using a disguise hat to keep the chain of command in relative calm.
Cure takes a moment to ponder how Talia is a clone of Ilya pretending to be Ilya. And I just kind of shudder a little bit and look over at Alina. And then shake my head very quickly. I see. Well, my party is currently at Count Costume's manor. We will likely be heading out today. I believe we might be going to Rexentrim or somewhere in Wildmount. Let me know if there are any changes or anything you believe I ought to know.
I will.
Or even things you would rather not tell me, because chances are I will want to hear those the most.
I can think of nothing off the top of my head currently.
Excellent. I'll get back to my prayers then. And I get back to my prayers.
Okay. Dawson, you are the next one up. You sense that there's someone else in the room with you. Ooh, roll me history check.
Wow.
You know, it's almost less that you picked up that it was in fact Ghost, but you just were having dinner with Avi and Ustan. You just saw Sorrow. Yeah, you know that Ghost is in the room with you. He appears to be by the fire, breathing evenly, if not deep. And that's when you notice that the fire is actually out. So she's by the fireplace. I misspoke. Hold on, let me check and see. Yeah, she's a rogue assassin. She's a light sleep. I'm alright. Last night was difficult. I survived. That's what I do. Well, it'll probably be survived for a little bit longer even after Vecna's taken care of. We'll see. I'll take it. Not yet. I'm an elf. I don't sleep. I will. I will still be here. Yeah, you
Follow your nose.
It's downstairs. It's this one. You enter, and there is a not as gracefully breathing, relaxing ASMR in the room. He's sprawled out on one of the chairs. You smell faint blood coming from him. His head is back, and he might be making a light snoring noise. It's sad because there's a cup of coffee right in front of him. Yeah, there's a pot of tea on the table as well as a pot of coffee. Some pastries have been put out. Looks like it's set for breakfast. Yeah. He's definitely like sprawled out on the chair that if he wasn't like 25 would look really, really uncomfortable. But yeah, no, you can hear every once in a while he's like his snoring gets interrupted. He coughs himself and like adjusts his head. It's good. Macklin,
Hello.
you slowly come to. You're a bit groggy.
Around what time is it?
The sun is up.
I missed dawn again. I'm getting sloppy.
Gonna sit up and with my passive perception, can I sense that someone's in the room?
Yeah.
Good morning,
It's after
stranger.
you say I'm getting sloppy too.
Yeah, Macklin's gonna sit up and just rub the sleep out of his eyes and
Good morning, stranger.
Good morning, Uncle Mac.
can I just roll a quick insight check to try to get a vibe?
Yeah, sure.
Ooh, that's almost a nat 20, not quite.
Well, damn.
It's a 35.
Damn. Frustration, but not frustration at you. Definitely frustration at Elf. You've seen it often enough before in these in this family.
Frustration toward what?
Herself. She's frustrated with herself.
Oh, she's
She's
beating
not
herself
like
up again.
she's not frustrated at you. There's something that's definitely bothering her, but it's
Right.
definitely facing inward.
All right.
She's with that, and she smells faintly of smoke and fire. And you see some singe marks on the edge of her cloak.
All right. Looking her over, does she appear injured?
With that, she looks like she may be a little banged up, yeah.
Okay. Looking her over, he's gonna start to get his armor on, just buckling it up one piece at a time. And
Looks like you had a hell of a night.
It was a night. Unfortunately, a little too close to what I had seen before, and Talia relieved me of bodyguard duty.
he purses his lips and nods.
I think that might have been the right call.
No offense, but that is.
Sometimes you need someone else to tell you what your limits are for you to realize just what they are. Is there something you'd like to talk about, or shall I let sleeping dogs lie on this one?
Maybe at some point. Let's just say fire and fiery battles are not my
Happy
happy
place.
place.
Yeah,
She grins a little bit at that declaration in unison.
yeah, he sucks his teeth a little bit and nods. And we've all got one. What's important is that you live to fight another day, and perhaps you can make up for that, mister. After getting his armor on, he's going to approach and just pat her on the shoulder, utter a short utterance, and leave a little bit of that sparkly green magic. Then cast Cure Wounds, so just a level 1 spell slot, take the edge off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you see some of the bruises kind of fade back from an angry purple to like just a light green yellow color.
Oof. I'm surprised. There's not much that you can't sleep off. Glad you came out in one piece.
Just need to dance at some point, I suppose.
That sounded like the presence. I hear this place is well fortified. The bed is quite comfy if you'd prefer to sit cross-legged over there.
I might take you up that.
Yeah, he chuckles, gives you another pat, and begins to meander. Have you seen any of my companions by any chance?
Johnson said he was going down for breakfast.
Oh, he would. Most important meal of the day. Right then, I'm not sure how long I can avail myself. I'll discuss matters with my companions and see what the day brings. But if you do require anything, I'm here. Just lifts his arms somewhat awkwardly, uncle that he is, and makes his way backward toward the doors.
You watch as she puts her back towards the wall, facing the window and the door respectively, and closes her eyes to begin to trance.
Faint smile, he backs on up and makes his way on out. Where the hell is the kitchen? Shit.
All right, Tab and V.
Hi.
Sun is up. Feels like it might be breakfast time.
Can we hear or smell? Probably not from the room that we're in. Are you awake yet? Not awake. We know you don't sleep, but
What?
not. Good morning.
Blinks a
We
couple times.
practiced, and we brandished
Morning?
the pigskin to show off the tiny Edgars we've been tattooing. Also, we would have attuned to whisper overnight.
Okay.
What have we learned?
Give me a second here. Whisper incoming on Facebook because Roll20 will murder my whispers.
Yeah. Facebook is being very slow, so we'll hand V the pigskin and bounce to our feet. What do you think?
V is looking at the tiny Edgars. I think this one is probably the best one so far. But as I said, I still need to figure out, versus the Ravens, exactly where we need to have things and where we can edit as required.
We appreciate you very much. You can keep it if you want. We'll keep practicing. Are you hungry? Or coffee?
Yes, it's got to be about the time, doesn't it? Windowless rooms.
We'll peek our head out the door. Do we see/hear/smell anything that might be breakfast?
Roll a perception check.
Funnily enough, as many rooms as we ran through yesterday during hide and seek. 13. I don't think that was the breakfast room was one of them.
You smell something good coming from across the hall.
We think we found breakfast. There's probably coffee too.
Oh, well, lead on. V puts the pigskin away.
And we will put the spell book back in our bag and we'll follow our nose. Good morning.
To it, you see Jazen and a sleeping Yuri.
Is Yuri actually bleeding? Or could Jazen just smell blood because he had been at a massive battle?
Roll a perception check. Or investigation. You're going to give him a better look over.
Yeah, we'll go closer to him since we're doing investigation. It's a pretty good roll, so. But where is our modifier? Oh no. 33.
God damn.
Rogue stuff.
Rogue stuff.
Oh no.
Oh no, the oh no was I am a weakling who tends calculator to math up things just because it makes my life easier. And the oh no was a miskeying. It had nothing to do with the roll.
Oh damn! It's only a 40.
It's a rogue party. It's only a 40. Could be a thing in this group.
It wasn't even a 40, man. Give me a break.
He definitely does look like most of the blood on him is belonging to someone else. However, he does seem to have a couple of bandages that he's sporting that might belong to him.
But he's like breathing. He's snoring, so he must be breathing.
He's snoring he's snoring loud as hell.
We will stealth back to a few chairs away. Oh no. That stealth rolls in that one.
Nice.
You knock over a chair.
We pretend we didn't and just keep going.
Yuri stirs, and he kind of like sits up in the chair, like bolt upright, looks at you all blurry-eyed, but in that I'm not actually looking at you sort of look. Listens for a second, and then goes back to sleep.
V waves at him and stirs sugar into his tea.
We also wave. And is there reach for whatever breakfast food is available to see if it's like whatever looks. If there's any, actually, I should say there's breakfast food available. Sounds like, does it look good or does it look mediocre?
It looks good.
Okay.
There's some there's like a small platter of bacon, sausages, there's eggs that are brought out.
Then we begin sampling breakfast foods to try to identify the best item. Did you hide again? Is this where you're hiding all night? Are you still upset? We mean being upset. Still? Upset. We're just being ourselves. Yeah. Would you like to talk about it? Or would you like to talk about anything else? Anything that isn't that, though. We mean. How to convince Kiora to get a tattoo? We nod. We thought so. All of them, really. So many. Would you like to be a pit fiend? We won't give you that one.
We get to disguise that we were thinking about giving Macklin because it would be hilarious. Yes. V moves us to next to Jocelyn. Oh, come on, you cannot tell me that you would not enjoy popping out of nowhere and cursing someone out looking like a pit fiend.
What's this about pit fiends? Are we about to kill one? Kiora says as she walks in.
It really only gives them the arm, but it's still very good.
That answers absolutely no questions.
Only a little bit.
There's a tattoo that can turn someone into a pit fiend?
Only
It's
the arm.
disguise.
I mean, granted, I wouldn't want to be turned into a pit fiend at all, let alone
Why
only
wouldn't
an
you want
arm.
to turn into a pit fiend? They're huge and intimidating.
As I walk into breakfast.
We nod enthusiastically.
He gestures towards Macklin. Vindicated.
They're tall, handsome, charismatic. Who wouldn't? Well, I mean, I make a little wavering hand gesture. What is evil, right?
I pretty much know that I follow an entire doctrine that defines that.
We have opened the spell book again, and we're flipping through it to refresh our memory on what the pit fiend tattoo does, and we stop and we sort of stare at one of the pages, and then we lift our head to stare at Jocelyn and like swoosh our eyelids at him a couple of times, and then we lower our head to the page again. We might have one for you after all. Maybe. Would you want to be able to see? More than see? See everything. See things that aren't really things that are really there but are invisible, as well as things that aren't there, and see things that are illusions but see what they actually look like, and see everything. We push the book over V and point at the Eye of True Sight tattoo.
Are you okay, Macklin? Are you having an asthma attack?
That's out of
V
character,
reads the
Rob.
description and looks at Jocelyn. Looks back at the description. So yeah, it gives you true sight up to 60 feet for like 10 minutes per day-ish. But you could see for 10 minutes. That would be surprising.
It's not that we think you have to. We think you're very good at the way you are, but if you wanted to, we could do that.
It's not specified in its magic. I mean, it probably wouldn't hurt anything.
We don't know. We don't know. Can we tell?
Well,
It looks like an eye. It goes into your forehead. Maybe that's what you see through, so maybe that if your eyes work. That's the downside, but the upside is you can see everything. We look at V expecting him to know the answer to this question.
He looks back at Tab going, okay, I have done minimal research on this. We're going to Rex and Trim. I'll see what I can find.
We not enthusiastic. Maybe when we get to Rex and Trim, we'll be able to find that too.
They've got telepathy. They've got 5 additional hit points. They've got.
We give you magical vines that you could use to bludgeon people with.
While this conversation's happening, I walk over to my nephew, listen to him breathing, then take a seat and begin serving myself breakfast.
We could make you stronger and tougher and faster and smarter. You're already very smart, but we could make you even smarter. Yes. Yes, we do. Point to V at the tattoo of major protection. It would make you. You would sit still for quite a while, and it would go on your chest, not on your face. So that's better, maybe.
Doesn't that one also go on your back if you want?
wait,
not have it
I'm
in the middle of
sorry.
your chest?
It could be. We got distracted. Yes, and then you would still, and we would tattoo it, and then when it was done, you would be harder to hit. Like it would be
This
a little
seems
harder.
marvelously well thought out.
We could still stab
It makes
you,
your
but
armor work better.
and also you'll be better at dodging things and resisting things and not getting knocked over and not getting charmed by someone who's very charming. All of those things, maybe other things too.
Probably longer than that. Tab is kind of a beginner at this point. I wouldn't rush them.
But the more we practice, most of a day, maybe of a day. We don't know. We'd have to get started and see how long it took. More than breakfast. We could also do a small, faster one. That would be do the same things, but a little bit less so. That would be faster, but still probably most of a day. Are we going to Rex and Trim today? Or are we tattooing you all?
Got 2 hands.
That might be a little bit much for even us. We look around at Macklin and Kior.
We were in a bit of a rush last time. Why do we get to slow down now?
Because we're trying to be respectful. We're still in a rush.
Cock my head a little bit and arch an eyebrow.
And we think we remembered that we thought we were supposed to get the ritual so that we would know how to do the ritual.
And
then we would linger after that.
The sooner we get the ritual, the sooner we know how much time we have that we can set aside.
So we'll go to Rexentrum after breakfast. We kind of have a like, can't believe our luck look on our face.
I look toward Jocelyn. Well, I believe the good cleric is all right there.
He's had a very long night.
He's not asleep anymore.
Did you?
You did no
I
such
don't
thing.
remember.
You're too
Last
late
I
for
heard,
that
you're all
now.
getting group tattoos, and you see him lift his head and pull and grab the coffee and drink it.
I don't recall anyone.
You can totally be included
agreeing
if
to
you're
that.
feeling loud.
We not enthusiastic. We haven't decided anything yet. We thought we would ask Kior if she wanted a tattoo and respect her decision.
I choose Yuri as my champion to stand in my stead.
And then we decided we might possibly be able to do a small flock of Edgars that are summonable.
We were
Oh,
wondering
dear
if
Lord,
you
I'm not
haven't
sure
seen
any more
another
children around here is going to be a good idea.
Edgar's not a child, he's an Edgar.
Why do you think the two are mutually exclusive?
He doesn't have thumbs.
Have you checked?
He doesn't open doors.
He could
And
have a
pick
beak and still be a
locks.
person if he has
And
thumbs.
I assure you, he really can open doors. This doesn't make him a child, this just makes him part bird.
Except not a child, he's a white bird. He's an Edgar.
No,
Like
he's
part
full
lion
griffin.
or something. Yeah.
Not at all, they're considered beasts.
They're partly bird and partly something else.
Can a beast not be a bird?
they're generally considered as two separate categories. Why?
Are there scientific names in
Then
this
why
world?
do we always say birds and beasts?
I think that they're actually called a monstrosity.
That's not very nice.
Is that Yuri?
No, that is
Oh,
Alina,
hey,
who is
Alina.
standing
Small
next to
child.
me.
Would you like a tattoo?
No! No! I just get, I get up and I kind of put my hands up in front of Tab. No, you're not allowed to say yes to that. I'll get in trouble for that, let alone Cure.
Also, in your opinion, is Edgar another child?
Is he a sibling or is he a friend? I mean, he could be more than one of those. Mean.
Really depends who you ask.
We're asking
Alina kind
Alina.
of thinks about it for a moment. Probably a sibling. One of the more agreeable ones.
Of course, that raises a question of whether you are a child or a monstrosity.
Or a
I'll
friend.
gesture her to come over towards me. I'll
He
kind
just
of.
grins evilly at you.
We stage whisper to her, we're an undead.
Is that what you
Ooh.
think you are?
That's what we hear. We're embracing it now.
From whom?
We like look like just sort of back at Cure. Like wait for the penny to drop.
I just blink back at Tab.
Well, I guess we'll be doing this for a while. It's very dusty. Would you like to be able to fly? We call to Alina around Kior. When you're older.
I'm
I
not
don't
approving it.
think Alina will be answering
not
any
very
such
approving
questions at this particular time.
She had her mouth open, like half. Bacon was halfway to her mouth as she just looks at you, like obviously would like to fly. Before Cure answers for her.
We give her like a very stealthy finger gun, and then turn the gun into reaching for more bacon. I'm adding Tabs makes secret pact with Alina for Wings tattoo to my notes when she's older. After breakfast?
Bust out my notes.
What's sleeping like?
Sleeping? You've never slept?
Shake our head.
It's like you lay down and you feel tired, and then nothing happens for like a little bit. Then you wake up and it's morning. So it's like a fast forward button.
Sounds like a great waste of time.
I look that little one over a little bit and kind of
She
furrow
nods.
my brows.
She nods and agrees that it is in fact a waste of time.
Such.
He looks somewhat enlightened.
I think you're missing a part. What are dreams?
She blinks for a moment, thinks about them. I mean, I suppose when I was going to school with Eddie, he called dreaming tripping balls. And she grins.
Who's
Blink
Eddie?
again.
One of the older kids.
Cure just sighs.
We rotate towards Kior. Who's Eddie?
Hell if I know.
It's been a very good morning so far.
Yes, no one's died to my knowledge.
Someone probably has somewhere.
Incidentally, as I'm like refilling my plate with food, once after Alina had sat down, I would be gesturing towards things and making her a plate quietly as the conversation was going on.
Yep. She's definitely taking bites and watching you all and watching Tab closely.
We like catch her eye and like tilt our head towards the spell book that's still pushed across the table and towards V.
You push a spell book towards her?
No, it's across the table towards V. We were showing
Towards
him
V.
things. So we're like catching her
Okay.
eye and like tilting our head to indicate that there might be something
The
interesting
spell
there.
book is actually where this fish image is. Alina starts to lean forward.
I deliberately push her plate in front of her. Kind of like one arm blocking her.
Did we ask Kior yesterday why she hates the Count?
That character or player?
That was I'm sorry, that was Hannah asking. I
Nope.
don't think we did, but I wanted to double check because it seems like a thing we might have asked. All right. Then seeing our attempt to share the wonders of the magical spell book with Alina foiled, we'll to refocus on Kior. Would you like to tell us about our host? We had an interesting conversation with him about you.
I'm sure he had very interesting things to say.
We would like to hear your side.
Kind of pause and to my lips a little bit. I look over at Alina, then look over to Tab.
Not now. Like that would come out with a question on it. Like expression of disappointment. Not now. That either.
Alina looks like, so she was doing that thing where she's like, I'm not here, you guys can keep talking and I can hear all the things. And is doing a poor job of hiding that she's a little deflated that she is not going to hear the hot goss.
Well, after we make our preparations to leave, I would be happy to have that conversation. But I think it's better to discuss happier things at breakfast.
We're not sure if we should or shouldn't tell you that we told him not to make proactive choices for us.
I think that was a wonderful decision, Tab.
Happy discussions. And then we'll stack some more bacon.
Happy discussions.
What was that, Macklin?
I'm just echoing happy discussions as Macklin tries to consider what a happy subject is.
He's just, eating a croissant, reading the tattoo book, doing some surreptitious math in a journal.
Is Edgar in the room?
Edgar? Not specifically.
Okay.
These muffins are rather quite good.
Nika's going to try a new spell today.
I'm sorry, what?
Oh, which one?
He kind of thinks for a moment. He said it was Silent Image. That's the one.
Huh.
It seems like it takes a lot of concentration, though.
A little bit of focus can yield a great deal of reward.
How old is Nika? 8, 9?
8.
And she knows Silent Image.
That's quite impressive.
Well, she's gonna try it today. She's been studying it for a little bit.
Is she apprenticed to anyone?
She kind of blinks for a bit and shrugs a little bit.
Let me
Most-
rephrase that. Who's teaching her the spells?
Grace said that if she'd stop trying magic on her own and getting herself damn killed, that Grace would teach her some.
A wise course of action.
Huh.
Melchior, it would seem that there are 2 child prodigies to keep an eye on now.
Hopefully there are a number of babysitters who might be able to assist with that, because that is far too much work for one person.
None with the credentials for very much longer.
Alina kind of sighs. No, all of my training partners are in Whitestone.
I see.
She kind of forlornly stabs a piece of sausage.
I'm sure you will see them before too long.
She kind of shrugs her shoulders a little bit. I thought Mistress Seraphine would be here, but she went from
I didn't quite catch that. She went to the what?
the front.
Macklin nods a bit. Tell me, do you know where the front is located now? Has the line moved?
Alina looks at you and just shrugs. I don't know. People just keep saying the front. I assume that means the front of the war.
He nods, accepting her answer at face value.
Yes, that is the general parlance for that particular term.
We're at the back.
More off to the side, I would say.
At the back? That makes sense. Seems right.
Well, hopefully, if we all play our cards right and do our part, we won't have to talk about fronts or lines or people getting hurt anymore.
The side will be when we go where we're going, not Rexentrim, the other place.
Yes,
That'll be the side.
It is somewhat side-like, perhaps the sidelines, watching on from a distance.
Soon, hopefully.
After breakfast. And then some other breakfast after that.
Second breakfast.
That seems like a lot of breakfast.
We don't even eat, really, unless it's very good. But we know people like their breakfast. We're
No,
trying to
tis
be
the most-
considerate. Is it
Here's the
working?
most.
Sorry.
Fine, it's so imperfect.
Yeah, every time Macklin opens his mouth, Tab adds like one more thing.
It is the most important meal of the day, so they say. Thank you for your consideration. Those of us
It's
who
the
wish
easiest
to
time to
appreciate.
acquire a muffin.
I mean, you can get a muffin anytime if you're pretty liberal with the word muffin.
Squint at the child.
I squint as well.
We also squint.
She just runs at you. Just cake, right?
No,
No, after a certain point, it becomes a cupcake.
absolutely not.
There is a line.
We
It's
make
just
like a
breakfast
50-50
cake.
hand
There's
gesture.
most certainly a line.
Mama says muffins are just breakfast cakes.
They're not sweet enough to be breakfast cake.
Your mother is wrong. I don't care if she's a sovereign.
I support Elia in all things except this.
A line
A
must be
muffin is
drawn.
most certainly not a cake.
What is it then? What's the
It's a
A
difference?
bread.
muffin!
It's a bread.
I love Macklin and Cure just like talking over each other in their indignation.
Johnson gets it. It's a cake in a cup.
And that's closer to a muffin than a cake.
Are you still eating?
It's between the two. I'm not arguing. It is very much its own thing. I'm just saying that on the scale of cake to muffin, it's in between.
Yes.
All right, so the scale goes from cake to bread.
Which is most certainly a bread.
It's most certainly a bread, but I wouldn't put it on the same spectrum as cakes and muffins. A bagel is most certainly not in the same category as cakes and muffins.
We think it might be. It's bready. Some muffins are bready. Not as bready as most, but bready. More bready than bacon. More bready than apples.
Muffins don't get
or
bready, they get brownie.
not all of them. More bready than eggs. More bready than pineapple.
That's a fruit.
It's but it's much less bready.
I should hope so.
What's Alina think of this conversation?
Potatoes are a bit bready.
She's got a mischievous look on her face as she's watching you all argue about the spectrum of breakfast pastries.
I have to side with Tab on that one. Potatoes are quite bready, especially when you factor in potato bread.
We nod.
Tuber, actually.
We imagine there's a book about it in Retrum.
There are many books. That said, let's just refresh ourselves on what to expect, shall we? Oh, so it was a school we were supposed to arrive in. I see. The
school in
Soulstress
Rexentrum?
Academy.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a magic school.
Do you know much about the academy?
She just kind of shrugs. Yeah. Nika said some things.
Well, she probably aspires to attend it at some point.
She said she can't because she's my friend.
Well, in time that may change. Not the friendship, but the fact that she cannot attend. I am sure that your friendship will withstand the ages.
Cure quietly munches on a muffin.
Insight check Cure. Who is she avoiding looking at right now? if anyone. That's a 4, so a 22.
She's staring at her muffin.
Like just like pretending she's not there. Extremely fair.
Let me see. Let me see. This be performance or let's go for deception.
Wow!
You don't know. You don't know.
Oh, sure
Wow.
does. Wow! Cure has never wanted to not give anything away as much as she's not wanted to not give
Wait.
this away.
Tab, have you rolled?
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
22.
Damn.
Of all things, for her to just not show any sign of awareness on.
Wow. Respect.
Yeah,
So
Kiora
that,
just likes her muffin.
I guess so. What kind of muffin is it? How big is it?
how dense
I'm-
is this muffin?
Like, is it bran? Is it chalk chip? Is it?
Is it moist? Is it chewy
Oh,
or flaky?
breakfast muffin, so and plus this is a noble household, so I'm assuming it's like a very fluffy blueberry muffin with
Okay.
a crusty top.
that makes sense.
The kind that like makes the scratchy scrape noise if you're in a fork across the top.
Yep. The kind that Ilya definitely calls breakfast cake.
Breakfast cake. Well, at that point, it's sweet enough to be cake. The good muffins. Yes.
Uriel is just watching you all have breakfast. I mean, watching might be a strong word. He seems a little zoned out, and he usually shoves like a sausage link in his mouth.
We've all been there.
So, as I understand it, there's a teleportation circle that leads to the Sorceress Academy. Johnson, is that a place that you can take us to, or must we find Aldrin to get there? I see. Is there anywhere in Rexentrum that you could take us? Six months.
I think we would be better off searching for another form of transportation. Didn't we? There was someone we were going to speak to about that.
I believe it was Aldrin.
Right.
Failing that, there are a number of Zemnians who may have been emigrated within 6 months. I don't know where that would take us exactly, but that is Plan C.
Does that mean we have to go back to Stone? Or do you think they would be evacuated here?
Pass a glance to Uriel, who is zoned out and scarfing down sausage.
Chances are, if they're non-combatants, they might be here.
Your
They're-
Highness, Herr Blitzen,
Blitzen.
Been a minute since I heard that one. Yes.
would you happen to know the location of the kindly wizard Aldrin? Did he follow you back from Whitestone?
No, he stayed in Whitestone.
Blast it all.
Was anyone else in Whitestone? Did anyone arrive yesterday?
Yes. A seeker and a companion.
Thank you. We look very pleased.
That might be something we need to do.
We do need to get to Eldrin, but perhaps there might be some other area that might be set up to transport us to Whitestone without you having to expend yourself.
I look back towards Uriel.
He looks at you.
I do an eyebrow wiggle.
Perhaps a secret door leading into a secret tent that shouldn't exist.
From here?
I thought briskly. Quick way to Whitestone.
He thinks for a moment. I could set up a portal, yeah.
Oh! I thought you... I had thought that, what with this being the location to escape to, there might be something stable, a doorway of some kind. You look like hell. I'd hate to ask you to do that for us.
I have magic chalk as its gift of Odrin's.
Oh, well, to hell with it.
I nod in his direction.
Magic chalk it is. You do. That said,
What are you talking about, Macklin? You have magic chalk. I gave it to you.
it doesn't do that. It's good. That is not that good.
Let's see if I give you anything
I
anymore.
didn't say it wasn't good.
Do you have more chalk?
Probably, but I wouldn't have any assumption you'd be able to use them on account of you can't see. It's not an insult. You're the one who proclaims you're blind all the time.
We could fix that. Maybe.
Tab could fix that, maybe.
It doesn't need to be fixed. It's not that something's wrong, but we could give you more options, maybe. We'll see.
Were they discussing that before or after the pit fiend?
I think like in between the fiend, but before Macklin walked in on before the part that Macklin before you came in the room.
I was just trying to figure out if Kior had heard them discuss the true sight or not.
I don't believe so.
Tab, what do you mean that you could make him see, maybe?
Here, we'll lean across the table for the spell book and like pull it back towards us, turn it towards Kior. Maybe push it a little bit too hard so it kind of goes in front of Kior, but also a little bit over towards Alina after turning.
Kior sets her arm down to kind of like create a barrier.
And then we'll turn the page to the mark of true sight and point at it. There, that one. The question is whether it would work.
Alina is like trying to go over your elbow.
This diagram here, does it have to be tattooed on his forehead?
It says so.
Oh, that would be quite a look.
You could grow long bangs. That would be a different look.
You could wear a circlet.
It's all right. It's your forehead. You don't have to if you don't want to. Now this one, and we've did the mark of the flock. This was the one we thought we might make little eggs.
Oh, baby Edgar's.
I'd like a baby Edgar.
Why don't you try to take care of a cat first? Then we'll discuss a griffin.
Did you just say Alina could have a cat?
No, I did not.
We think she said you could have a cat. We have a cat.
You have a cat?
And a dog. We have a cat with V. And a dog with Ferg.
I have a dog, but kind of likes Mama more.
The big
We will
goofy mastiff.
start to like look of recognition, like not recognition, like light moment look, and like open our mouth, close our mouth, look up at Kior. Could we loan Alina a dog, please? He's been spending a lot of time in the necklace.
I cock my head and look at Alina.
We don't think he would get to the necklace in the library.
How excited is she by this idea?
Oh, thrilled.
I'm not sure. A dog is a lot of responsibility.
He's a very good boy.
Do you feel like this is a responsibility you could handle, Alina?
She nods. She thinks that she goes to nod very quickly, and then in something you've seen in older versions of her, pauses before and like gives it an actual thought before giving you an actual concrete nod.
You know you won't be able to just play with him all the time. You'll need to walk him, clean up after him, make sure he's fed.
It will give me something to do. I'm really bored.
And he's not really our dog. He belongs to Ferg, so at some point he might need to go back with Ferg. But he's a very good boy. His name is Sunbeam.
I think you might be right for a job like this.
Yes, I can watch Sunbeam.
And we
Who
will
are you?
take off the Sunbeam necklace and like hold it towards her, but we're like passing it slowly in front of Cure, so that if there is any hesitation or any interference, there is opportunity to interrupt the transfer.
I lean back a little bit.
Yeah, Alina takes the necklace.
Um,
Oh, I know these. This is with Horatio has one.
Who's
I
Ratio?
wince.
Oh, it's Nika's monkey.
The monkey has a necklace. What's in it?
The
No,
monkey.
He goes in the necklace when it's too dangerous.
We're visibly disappointed.
He's out most of the time now.
I don't have a note of what the command words are for Sunbeam's necklace, but Tab would know and would communicate those.
It's ball.
Oh, that makes sense. Thank you for watching him.
Thank you for letting me watch him.
Thank you for letting her watch him, Cure.
Thank you for offering her the opportunity.
Thank you for letting me look at your fee. Letting us.
You're welcome.
You're supposed to thank someone.
V blinks.
We push the coffee half towards V.
Thank you for coffee.
You're welcome.
I'll lift a hand and just kind of like stroke the back of Alina's head as she's investigating the necklace.
Mm-hmm. She has put it around her neck. It appears to be keeping it in a safe spot. Her hand slowly moves to Uriel's coffee. Uriel slowly moves it out of range of Alina.
You do realize I'm staring right at you, Alina.
Hold on.
Still petting the back of her head.
She nods at you and just gives you a grin. I wanted to see if he was still awake.
Oh, leave your pause. Think. Cousin took her a moment to figure out the actual familial relationships. Leave your cousin be. He's had a very long night.
And if I don't get any rest, I won't work you through your shell drills.
Drills?
Just shield work.
Shield walk is an important part of learning to keep yourself alive.
Uriel nods. And since your silly sister likes to use a two-handed sword, he kind of just sits up and stretches.
Of course, killing the other bugger before they can hit you is another viable strategy. I'll lean over and kiss the top of Alina's head.
Yeah, and she leans into you, watching Uriel carefully.
All right, young lady, where are you supposed to be after breakfast?
I could go with you.
No, I don't think that's a good idea.
You have to watch the dog.
Right. See.
Kiora is getting kind of concerned that someone just like let Alina into the house and without any instructions whatsoever.
It appears that might have been the case. Grandmama and Uncle Gren went to the Menagerie Coast. And I'm staying here. And she just shrugs.
Who brought you to the manor?
She points to Uriel.
I look to Uriel. Who's supposed to be watching over her?
I
Sunbeam?
believe Sunbeam's good. I think Ice is keeping an eye on her at the moment, both the girls.
We are looking to see what her reaction to that is.
My jaw tightens a little bit. Do you have any idea how attentive he's actually being to them? After all, there are a great many duties I am sure he must see to. And the children are very much not... They should not be put into a position without someone looking out for them.
Well, we do have a spare babysitter at the moment. He kind of sense.
Who's that?
Ghost arrived this morning. She couldn't take the front.
A rogue. Well, at least they'll be safe with her.
Oh, exceptionally.
She'll keep them busy. She's managed to keep Holly out of trouble.
Excellent. Would you like to notify her of her new duties, or should I?
He pauses for a moment. Why don't you tell her?
I'll reach up and tap Talia's earring. Ghost, are you here?
There's a moment of quiet before. I'm here in the Emerald Plains. I am.
Uriel has volunteered you to babysit our little girls, so good luck.
Oh, she has a dog now?
Oh yes, there's a dog as well.
Thank you.
Tell Uriel I'll be sending him my regards later.
I look over to Uriel. Ghost says she'll be sending you her regards later.
Does that mean she's going to murder you, or is it the other kind of regards?
I assume it's the other kind of regards.
Uriel kind of frowns a little bit and nods to Cure. We'll let Auntie keep thinking that.
I chuckle a little bit and give Alina a little hug. Well, isn't today your lucky day? Not only do you get a dog, but you'll also get a rogue to be your babysitter.
She, ever since Ghost has been brought up, has been a little bit wide-eyed, like, not one. I'll give this to you as a gimme. Her entire situation has been like, if I say something, they might change their minds. So she looks very excited. Can I start now?
Be on your best behavior for her.
Okay.
Oh God, is she speeding off now?
Not yet.
If you're very good, she might even teach you how to trance.
Then I wouldn't have to sleep as long.
Mm-hmm.
That might be a useful skill. You should ask her to see if she can teach you how to do so. As Kira is privately thinking, this will be funny.
Okay, I'm gonna learn how to trance.
Is that really possible?
But that girl, I wouldn't doubt it.
Elena shrugs.
We live in a wide and wondrous world.
We just thought that if it was possible, the rest of you would have learned.
Not all of us have been lucky to pursue the opportunity.
It's just that we didn't. Well, you certainly you would not tell Lena a falsehood, so that's probably fine.
There is nothing false about the world being a wide and wonderful place.
I
the
glance
other part.
askance and touch one finger to the side of my nose.
I pick up another muffin.
Yeah, you notice Alina has a muffin she's been thoroughly eating. Mostly just the top part of it.
Oh, that little tart.
Good for her.
Cure finds this acceptable.
Leaving the muffin bottoms for some poor soul, or worse yet, the trash can.
If she does leave a muffin bottom, Cure will take it.
No, they're blueberries, so you see her take the muffin bottom, wrap it in a napkin, and put it in her pocket.
Does that make it a cookie?
Oh no,
Only if you
I
leave
hate
it there
this so
long
much.
enough.
Apparently, she has plans for that bottom half muffin.
Cure's fine with not knowing for now.
We will after
It's
a
fine.
minute or so, just sort of very conversationally. The child wouldn't shut up unless we said that you were lying. So now that we've said it, it's on your head. All your heads.
The
Maybe she will learn to
child.
trance. We don't know.
It's a child?
We nod. Tap the side of our head. Reach for another muffin. Reach for actually our first muffin. So we had to be on her side. We would have been anyway.
Macklin nods. I know it's cruel and mean to be deceptive.
She probably knows.
But I was hoping perhaps if she convinced Ghost to, and I make air quotes, teach her how to trance, Ghost might actually be able to get some rest.
So why would you not tell her that? And tell her why?
Where's Ghost?
Shrugs.
Alina's
Well,
watching you all have this conversation, by the way.
She hasn't
Did not
left?
leave the table. No.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Weird. Where is
Vaguely, like, yeah.
where's Ghost?
Where is Ghost? I thumb in the general direction of where the room had been. Room still is.
Scoop up another muffin and stand up and look over at Alina and say, "Let Ghost get some rest, please."
Okay, I'm gonna go swimming.
Okay. Well, we can't say, okay, we're not your mother, but okay. And we will head off in search of Ghost.
Elena, make sure that you go swimming with Nika or someone else to be there with you.
Okay,
I'm trusting you.
I know.
I'll give her another kiss on the top of her head. I'll catch up with you when I return. Take care of everyone. I love you.
I love you too, Mother. Be safe.
Be good.
Do research.
I will certainly try.
Ducks out the room. You hear her calling it. Yuri, come swimming with me.
Need him for the ride.
I sigh a little bit and fold my arms on the table. We really need to be more careful about the kinds of things we discuss in front of her.
In which way? How?
V looks
What?
entirely confused.
What did you say?
No, just in terms of she's 8 years old. She's not old enough to make her own decisions yet.
V still looks confused.
Kind of.
Or to have people make her doubt that her parents are looking out for her best interests.
Just furrow my brows a little more.
You're fine, Macklin. You are on my side.
And I'm.
No worries, I'm not about to yell at anyone.
I mean, Fabi. You seem a little perturbed about something that was said.
Yeah, maybe a little.
Which,
I owe to have a conversation anyway.
far be it from me to tell you how to raise a child. Gods, that is not my area. But being a young and industrious and curious boy myself at one point, being told no, being told it's a bad idea, and being told absolutely not, that can set a child in a certain direction. A sort of bold defiance when they're full of piss and vinegar and they don't know better. They go and try to do the thing you told them not to do.
I'm more concerned about the belief that we should be always honest and straightforward with her.
She's a smart girl, Kyo.
She is. She'll figure things out, but
I
No,
was
she
talking about conspiring to get someone to sleep?
she's also very much like her mother.
be careful
like-
with.
At a loss. It seems like a child appropriate conspiracy.
I kind of wave a hand negligently. Don't fuss over much on it. Of all the things that have bothered me, this does not rank among the top 5. If it bothered me, I'd be a lot more angry about it. See, you know me. I'm only a bit perturbed. That's only slightly outside my normal state of being.
I'll continue. Consider it taken under consideration. We will not tell the child to go running with scissors or whatever.
Truth be told, I'm not in very much of a position to be telling her anything, and the fact she listens to me as much as she does is astounding. One day I will be more involved in her life, more than just a day or two at a time.
And that's when things are going to get a lot harder for you.
Somehow I find that challenge to be inviting rather than frightening.
More power to you.
Suppose that says a lot more about our current circumstances, doesn't it?
Poking my bacon. DM.
Mhm.
I had something on my mind for the past hour or so. Is it common for an 8-year-old to start picking up spells at that age?
Roll. Pick a thing and roll it. Whatever you want.
Insight's my strong point, but
Insight works. You can roll
Yeah,
insight,
roll insight.
drama, history,
History.
anything you want.
I'd like to roll history.
Mhm.
Because this seems like prodigy levels. That's a 24.
24. You know, in certain ways, maybe prodigy levels, but you also know how kids who are raised by musicians just kind of pick up music in a way that seems unnatural.
Yeah, I get that.
It's a lot of. It's more like it's a level 1 spell that she was talking about. She's
Yeah.
mentioned experimenting with magic before. You know, Ice is a bard.
Yeah, but I also know that she was making like arcane circles and glyphs back in the Feywild.
Yeah.
Like,
Ice probably encourages magical exploration, even when the risks are a little questionable.
yeah, but that was before she met Ice. So with that in mind, I'm gonna take this to IMs. Yeah, carry on.
Wow.
Carry on, but I'm gonna take this to IMs.
Oh, you
Hit
can't
me
just
up
leave
and
us on
I
that.
am.
Yeah.
I mean, the DM's going to be distracted answering your questions anyway, so you really might as well just speak them out.
That's a compelling argument.
Rob's like, I don't care, y'all do you.
I respect that energy.
And Macklin is like, he is sitting at this chair, not saying anything out loud, but he is deep in thought.
Macklin, because the answer is very long, I'm going to answer you in DM, but on Discord. Rest of you continue on with breakfast.
Damn it. But we're done with
More
breakfast.
I mean,
suspense
we're no
for
longer in
you.
the room. We went off to find ghosts.
Somebody talk about something. Muffins. I need to think.
Why don't you speak out loud? That helps me think sometimes.
Lorem ipsum.
Who's Lauren?
Lolan. Lolan was a halfling that I had met at one point. I helped them out of a pickle.
Tempt your hooks.
Don't call it
There's a
callback.
halfling small enough to get stuck in a pickle?
You'll be surprised how large they grow their cucumbers on halfling lands. You'd think normal-sized vegetables would be just fine for them. But no, their pumpkins have to go bigger and bolder and more orange.
How do they move?
Cucumbers. With a wheelbarrow, of course. They're not primitive.
Are these vegetables like weaponizable?
V, you notice Macklin visibly wince when you say that.
Oh no. The real question is, how bready are they?
No.
Weaponized vegetables.
Well, you just described one made it sound like a siege weapon, so
Oh, yes, yes. Cucumber battleground is a cucumber battleground.
And thinking of this helps you think.
Oh, no, I'm just thinking in circles.
As everyone just listens to the invisible conversation.
I mean, we're always listening to visible conversations. It's just nice to have somebody else joining us.
Macklin just kind of shakes his head after a few moments and rubs his chin. And... Right then, we were going to retention, yes? At some point today. Have we all eaten? Do we need to pack anything else in our bags?
I can't think of anything that I require.
So, Tab, I imagine you're running through rooms rather quickly, yes?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Macklin kind of indicated a general direction, so we're heading in that direction. We are. I mean, we know there are people here, and we know that it is early in the morning-ish. So we are running sneakily, but we are indeed just sort of a repeat of our hide and seek approach to identifying
Oh, so you
the
get
correct
here.
room. I'm sorry, I can't see. I need to zoom out. What floor am I looking at?
It's the top floor, which I believe is the map on the bottom, because...
Okay. Oh, I see us.
Top.
Thank you. I was definitely looking at altogether wrong place. Yeah. So we will sort of quietly, like we're dashing by, and we just sort of pull the door open, poke our head in, scan the room, and like have probably like withdrawn from the room and started to close the door, and then like the door stops, and then we pull the door open again and poke our head back inside and step inside and close the door quietly behind us. Hello, are you awake?
I am. Apparently, I'm babysitting. Ghost looks up at you.
We think it shouldn't be too hard. We gave her a dog.
That will either help or hinder. Hopefully help.
We've been to the Oasis. We didn't see a circus. But we'll
He
come
smiles
back
a
and
little
help
bit.
after the other thing.
Yes.
Are you all right?
I just had a rough night.
Is there anything we can do?
Short of a modify memory, I don't so.
Oh, interesting. We'll sort of stand and look thoughtful for a minute and sort of shuffle our feet and tap the hilt of our rapier. How bad is it?
I'll be over it in a couple of days, I'm sure.
All right. That's all. We think that's all.
All right. Well, I'll be here. I'm told that I am on babysitting duty. Grace is tapped in for the morning, but I'll pick it up in the afternoon.
So I would just think. And it was described in front of us. Was it described in front of us as fire? Or was that before we were in the room?
Sorry, need more nouns.
Yeah, no, we don't use nouns. It's fine. I barely know what I'm asking. No, I think there was a conversation about Ghost having had there having been too much fire in the battle.
Oh, that was.
But I think that was
separate. She had that specifically with Macklin.
Fabulous. Thank you. We don't think we have anything that could helpful with that, but the dog is a very good dog. He's very helpful when you're having a bad day, or a bad week, or a bad month, or a bad lost 10 years.
She smiles a little bit at that.
And I think that's it. All right. We will sort of scramble back over whatever this little seated, like, oh, it's a door. We thought it was a little couch, but it's actually probably a door into that room. We will sort of back out a little bit. All right. We just wanted to say hello. We're going to Rexentrum now, we think. We'll see you later. We hope you feel better.
Thank you. Be careful in Rexentrum.
Step forward again. Is there anything we should know? We know that about the.
Full of
Be careful.
backstabbing liars. Yeah.
We know to not. You shouldn't take your shield. All of them, even the library.
The Cobalt Soul is fine, but the Solstice Academy. That's
Not fine.
different. Don't trust any of them.
Thank you. We'll remember.
Good.
And we'll give a little wave and we'll return to breakfast.
Okay.
Oof. We'll pop back in. It's intercepted on the way. I shouldn't assume.
You are not intercepted on the way. You hear the sounds of splashing and laughing as you cross the atrium.
Splashing and laughing?
Yeah.
I think we ran past the pond at least. Does it sound like it's coming from that direction?
No, like from this direction.
Oh, interesting. Oh, we did to the room with the pool. We did not go into the sauna. Interesting. Okay. But we do know there's a pool. So, okay. We will return to the breakfast room. We're ready.
Oh, good. Does anyone else have anything else to cover?
I'm as well.
All right, well, note upon your pocket bacon and Uriel, if you would be so kind. there was mention of chalk and sending us to Whitestone.
Yes, I can handle that. He moves to this door, closes it firmly, and got a piece of chalk.
Get up, dust myself off.
V tucks the tattoo book away.
He draws a symbol on the door, says a quiet word under his breath. The symbol seems to almost glow gold. He opens the door. It does not lead out into the rest of the house anymore.
All right. Before we head
That's
out,
incredibly useful.
what should we expect on the other side?
You said the Soul Stress Academy, that's...
Oh, you're
that'll
sending
be
us
the
right to
Soul
it.
Stress- Yes.
It's very efficient. Thank you.
Lakeland nods, having assumed that we would have to go through Odin to do that, but hey, this is even better.
Ghost says not to trust them. We think we did that already, but Ghost said so it must be real. More real than we thought,
Yes.
even.
Hmm. I'm going to pull out the Rexcentrum rapier and hand it hilt side to Uriel.
Don't want to be caught with this. I believe it's contraband over there.
I'm going to put my shield into my bag of holding.
Yeah. Yuri takes the sword and attaches it to his own belt. It very much is.
V uses disguise self to turn himself into a brown-haired, brown-eyed human.
That's unsettling.
Otherwise,
Ah, shit. I look my hands over and I pull the Rexcentrum ring off of it as well and hand it to Uriel.
Kira's going to make her
Let's do
use her ring to make herself look human.
Uriel takes your ring, Macklin, and put on his finger.
Keep them warm. Someone talks smack, punch him with the ring. Someone comes at you, run him through with the sword. You know what to do.
Got it, got it. Punch Ghost with the ring.
Not
Punch
Ghost!
needs to rest.
Yes, let her rest first.
I let her rest first. She'll definitely kill me.
You'll deserve it if you punch her with the ring.
Fair enough.
Just give it twice.
Should we change anything? We like hold our arms out to the side.
I think you're good.
We think
So
so too.
long. So long as you're not a grey-eyed Tal'Dorei, you should be fine.
We're not.
Yeah, don't
You
be a
certainly
grad,
are.
Tal'Dorei.
We couldn't be even if we wanted when we don't. No offense.
I'm not even sure if the blue skin gets a pass these days. Word travels fast. And far.
We will take one of the. Sorry, go ahead.
I take Mr. Fluffy Butt out from inside of my coat pocket and hand that to
Oh.
Uriel as well. Oh, this
Aw.
belongs to the little one. I have been meaning to give that to her since forever. It's
He
yours
looks
now.
at it. Oh, thank you. And he tucks it into like a coat pocket, like a breast pocket. So the bear's head's just sticking out a little bit.
Oh.
Pat myself down one more time and then. All right, well, no time like the present, and I will just zip past Uriel. Zip.
We will reach into our bag and carefully remove one pineapple and set it on the table, and then we will follow Macklin.
Okay.
Follow
Just-
after Tab and Macklin.
Giving him all the gifts.
We still have one pineapple. We feel like pineapple is enough.
You might have to barter it.
Seems fair.
Yep, V follows the rest of the party out.
Okay. As you make your way to the Solstice Academy, we're gonna call it for tonight.
Okay.
Hey.
Wonderful.
Okay.